Guys, this is Disorderly Product News, and I'm about to get an Emmy or a Pulitzer. Wait, I don't write anything, not a Pulitzer. I'm terrible at writing. In fact, I got 5 different people this week who want to be my editors. Anyways, if you've been following my channel, I've been sticking around District 11 quite a bit because I found officers. This is actually District 11 right here. I'm in the police station. I found officers, about 15 to 17 of them, 7 different patrol cars at Chicago and Hamlin, chasing people down with no PPE on. Not one of them, not one of the 12 to 17 police officers. And they were blue and whites. They were patrol divisions. They were running and chasing people down like Dwayne Wade was having a party downtown, and they were handing out the flyers. They were giving them to every person that walked in that gas station, and all those people in this impoverished neighborhood had on at least face masks. The guy selling bootleg DVDs had a face mask on. The guy sweeping up the parking lot had a face mask on. Everybody's been wearing face masks, contrary to everything the governor's been telling us. Look at this is the governor on Sunday when he did his news conference. He came out with a face mask on. And that's the head doc behind him. She's got a face mask on. So why was it? It piqued my interest. Why are these officers chasing these people down to give them a piece of paper that has absolutely no new information on it? It said, go out for personal or essential items. You can do that. Don't go out for non-essential items. You can't do that. That's what it said. Well, I figured out why. They started these checkpoints in 11, and 11 is also where the leader there is Commander Spencer. Spencer was the one in which 11 is the one where I went, where the Sun-Times said there was 4 blocks that are ID only. I went to those 4 blocks. They all had a police car blocking them off, but also in the newspaper report, it said that the police were not going to enforce the law because it was unconstitutional, because 6 months from now, they did not want to be sitting inside a courtroom explaining why they arrested somebody for walking down the street. So here we go. This is from a blog. I have several contacts. Several? Yeah, I have over a dozen, so that's several inside the police department. But this does not come from that. This comes from a blog, and it says Beck. So they're talking about Superintendent Beck, who was only intern. There's an actual superintendent now, David Brown, I think his name is, from Dallas. He looks like the guy from the X Factor. He looks just like L.A. Reid. L.A. Reid, that's who he looks like. I implore you to take care of each other and your families, Beck said. The illness can be severe, and it does not discriminate. If you're feeling symptomatic, please stay home, quarantine, and take care of yourselves. Then the mod for this page said, word had it made it to the west side, though, or someone just didn't care, because we got this summary about some constitutionally questionable practices undertaken by the bosses there. And now this is somebody from 11 who got a front row seat. Wait till you get a load of what happened today, Wednesday, second watch in 11. That's the police station I'm at right now, and all these white shirts are acting dumb like they don't know what's going on, but I'll show you that they knew what's going on the whole time. In 11, our illustrious tact team stepped on their own dicks. They stepped on their dicks so hard at the command of Spencer, the lawsuits will be flowing for years to come. This might even make national news. Well, it just made international news, because this is DPN, and there's people down under. They're putting another shrimp on the barbie while they're listening to this. So forget shooting for the moon. When you shoot for the stars, you might hit the moon. Or when you shoot for the sky, you might hit the star. Anyways, you didn't make national news. You made international news. Congratulations. You think Papers, Please was bad? Take it to the next level by storming a corner and locking up everyone. No warning. Calling the wagon to come transport everyone. Then, of course, the prisoners started wanting to go to the hospital. Watch guys tried to stand their ground. When the TAC lieutenant was asked why his guys weren't babysitting the prisoners, his reply was, because we don't have to. Turned into a mass shouting match between bosses. Desk sergeant refusing to approve unconstitutional arrest. The bald guy there is the desk sergeant right now at 11. I'm not saying he was there that day, last Wednesday, but that's who it is right now. The desk sergeant refusing to Approve unconstitutional arrest. Commander ordering him to. Huge cluster. These stupid tact guys and their bosses just don't get it. Nobody wants to deal with your unconstitutional mess. The media was at the station. The media was at the station. Yep, it sure was. Surely lawsuits will be flying after that mess. And now we're back to the moderator. What kind of moron would order his tact teams to sweep corners and bring 20 arrests into an already infected police facility during a pandemic, endangering officers, their co-workers, and thereby every officer's family? After all was said and done, for an offense Crimecia has no intention of prosecuting. That's their pet nickname for Kimberly Fox, the state's attorney. We made some calls, sent out a few emails, ran some search inquiries, and we were able to determine, because we went to the police academy and we just did a little investigating, and we were able to determine the tact sergeants objected strenuously to this mission. So did the tact lieutenant for a short time. But then there's some, I don't know, this guy's Serbian or Eastern European. He's got some Belfi. When in Rome, do as Roman. The saying goes, no warnings to disperse were ever issued. The non-social distance offenders were simply removed en masse from the corners. Other wagons were borrowed from nearby districts to transport the bodies. So what they did was the tact team just ran down, jumped out of the corners, and grabbed everyone they could, the ones that weren't fleet of foot enough to get away, and they arrested them just for being outside. That's why they were handing out the papers, so they could say, look, we gave you the paper. We told you when you should be out and when you shouldn't be out. But of course, they have no idea knowing why these people are out. And I'm sure they went to blocks that are high crime area blocks, right? No warnings. When officers refused to put their names on the arrest reports, one of the tact sergeants stepped up and put his name on in the box. One of at least 6 arrest reports to protect his people. That was a stand-up move. Also a stupid one, because you're going to be the first one on the stand. Cooler and smarter heads prevailed when Commander Hudfucker, now that's the nickname they've given to Commander Spencer, because I guess he likes flipping houses. He buys cheap houses, which I get kind of a conflict of interest since he's the commander of 11. He could, I'm sure he has some kind of ability to call a house, that's a drug house, put a red X on it. That's what they do for abandoned houses. And then next thing you know, he scoops it up. Cooler and heads prevailed when Commander Hudfucker ordered the lockup and desk to keep all prisoners for 12 hours minimum, regardless of fingerprints and name checks, clearing the proper process. Everyone was eye-bonded according to the actual law and not what Spencer attempted to violate. The next day, tact officers refused to sweep the corners by demanding the proper safety equipment be issued. Spencer retaliated by canceling all tact overtime initiatives. So the tact team and Spencer are going head to head. Spencer is now made himself king of 11, and he has ripped up the Constitution, and he said, get out there and you arrest everybody. If they're in a wheelchair, they'll be easy to get. So save them for last. Go for the fast ones. At least that's what they're saying. Listen, this isn't coming from me. This is coming from inside. So let's see what the comments say, because the comments are always the best. I'm starting to laugh already. I haven't even read them yet. Anonymous said, retaliated by canceling overtime. Great. So you're saying I don't have to stay at this shithole I call my place of employment longer than I need to? Priests retaliate every day. This sounds very, very unethical. Among other things, officers are offered financial compensation to do things that may be unlawful, possibly have financial compensation withheld. Hopefully this is not true. Doesn't the city have an entire legal department with a multi-million-dollar budget? Doesn't the CPD have a huge legal department? Are they paying attention? Hopefully this isn't a joke. No, it's not a joke. It's being reported on Disorderly Product News. Of course, it's 100% true. Or at least that's what I'm reading from what you guys said. All I know is this. So here we go. It first started with a report in the Sun-Times about 2 weeks ago. Chicago police officers ordered to restrict access to several West Side blocks known for drug sales. Police were instructed to check the ID of anyone who tried to enter 4 blocks, but several officers said they were hesitant to follow those orders out of concern they were not constitutional. Well, I'm glad you stayed awake during that class in the academy, because yes, telling somebody they cannot walk down a block without an ID in America is unconstitutional. Now here's a picture right below of a police car blocking off. This is I believe the 3900 block of Van Buren. And so I decided to go do some reporting, and I went over to the 3900 block of Van Buren. You're about to see this picture in real life. I got important business on this block. This
stand 6 feet back, man. You can do whatever you want to do. Go ahead,
this specific block. But I don't need a ID or anything.
No, you sure don't. Have a good day.
My man, I like it. I appreciate it. Thank you, officer. What's your name?
What's that?
What's your name?
That doesn't really matter, boys.
Canada, Rule 37 of your policy.
Just do me a favor.
I will.
We're not going any forward.
Motherfuckers that you look good.
Oh, he can't even. Look, you were about to make you look good. We were about to make you look good. 6 feet is 6 feet. If I don't move and you don't move, it's still 6 feet.
Take one more foot back, please.
Okay. What's your name now? What's your name now? I'll go all the way back here. What's your name now?
My name's Officer Ramirez. What's your name, sir?
It doesn't matter. What's your star number?
I'm asking you what your name is.
So here you hear that this is Sultan. This is Emperor Commander Spencer of 11, top dog, top cop in 11. And he's ripped up the Constitution, and he's just doing things his own way. Now, let me remind you, when I said Hudsucker, that's their nickname for him on the police blog. I know nothing of that. I'm just reading what they're saying and interpreting it. That's it. I read what was on the police blog. That's what they're saying about their boss. But it was in the newspaper that he was closing down blocks and the police were not going along with it. But here we have, this is when I first realized something wasn't on the up and up. When these officers, this sergeant right here, and 14 other officers, 15 other officers, chasing people down to hand them pieces of paper with no PPE on at all. Somebody else? What are you doing with them?
You'd have to contact 35th of Michigan for all those questions, sir.
Okay. Where am I at? Am I in 11 or 15?
This is the 11th district.
Okay. Spencer's not giving out masks? Cato's not giving you guys, giving you no masks?
We don't have any. We didn't have any at the station today for us. So.
Oh. You heard him, guys. There was none at the station for him. And what do you think I did? I went to the station to find out if there was any there. Because I'm a future Grammy-winning YouTuber. This is, Commander Spencer, there's a new superintendent. Who's in charge of saying, here, take this whole stack of papers, no gloves, no nothing on, and you've a first responder, so you've dealt with tons of people, and he's dealt with tons of people, and now you talk to each other, so that just extrapolates it. And, I'm not an English teacher, so I don't know, the numbers could be in the millions, but why is that being done? Does that seem? So you're not aware of this at all? Being the desk sergeant on 11 on this shift, you weren't aware that there's sergeants out there handing out information without any PPE. So are you guys not given masks and gloves?
We're given masks and gloves. Yes.
So there is masks and gloves here today to be given for any officer or sergeant that wanted them to go out there. So it's their decision whether or not to take them. I'll be giving stuff to the people.
I wish I had one to wear.
Yeah, well, come on. Okay, I'm getting two different stories now because he said there was none, and that seems ridiculous because I mean I was in an impoverished community and everybody in the park. Now it doesn't stop there because look at the white shirt to the left of him. This is Saturday. Again, this is Saturday. I went out Sunday with 2 other media reporters, and I bumped into Mr. Furley, and he was a very, very nice guy. He coaxed me into, he's nice to me, right? And usually they're yelling as soon as they see the camera. They can't stand the camera. The camera makes them go nuts. I come walk up without a camera, no problem. I got a camera in my hand. They're literally got their guns, the hands on their trigger. So Mr. Furley here lulled me into a false sense of confidence that he was a good guy. But what I didn't see was this. Me and the other media member walked on the other side of the street. The third media member stayed on the west side of Holman. And this is what he found out.
Excuse me. What's going on? What's with the heavy police presence out here? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. You just getting here? You didn't get a radio call? You just happened to show up? What came over the radio? I'm sorry, what? COVID-19? Get the fuck out of here. This ain't no checkpoint. It's no. Where's the doctors? How is this a checkpoint? Who's doing the checking?
No, there's no doctors. It's informational only.
I don't understand. Could you explain that to me?
Did you not hear the news?
I've seen the news.
That we were giving out flyers regarding the COVID-19 stay-at-home order.
Okay. And this is a checkpoint to make sure people stay at home.
It's just an informational thing. We're not enforcing anything. It's just handing out flyers. That's all.
Putting out fires. All right, I appreciate you talking to me. What's your name?
Evgeny.
Evgeny?
Yep.
Nice rapping with you, man.
Now, Joe comes across the street and see who
shooting
I'm
right here
talking
yesterday.
to
Is this
across
what,
the
Looking for
street.
guys with Sox caps.
Yeah, I'll give you
Oh,
two
no.
North
guesses.
side.
Uh-oh.
And you're supposed to have a Cubs cap.
Oh, hold on. Let's back it up. You're a gentleman. What's your name, sir?
Robinson.
Robinson. What's your phone number? I want to get you. I'm giving you good credit. I honestly.
Who are you guys? What are you doing? I might be. I don't want my head cut off and on some weird video.
Yeah.
Because you know there's people that manipulate.
We're not
videos.
that good.
I won't.
I promise you, Sergeant Robinson, I will not manipulate this video, but I will show that you were actually in charge of a COVID checkpoint where you're handing out flyers. But when I came into the department the next night, you acted like you didn't know what I was talking about until the very, very end when you said, "Oh, I know where that comes from. That comes from CPD headquarters, chain of command. Your best bet is to go down there." Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we tried to deceive. There you have it. I knew I was onto something. They were handing out these flyers in these impoverished communities, and then last Wednesday they took a tact team and borrowed a couple paddy wagons from the other districts, and they just jumped out and grabbed anybody that was on the streets, and they probably told them, "Listen, we gave you the flyer, we gave you the warning," even though they didn't ask them why they were out. They could have been out for something essential. So that's what's going on in District 11. So when you say YouTubers, whatever, media is not essential, you can halt that talk right now, because trust me, 10 pounds of makeup lady from Channel 7 is not coming out to District 11 to try and uncover an unconstitutional arrest of young minorities. They're not. They're not. Okay? So I'm in a very dangerous community for very, very little pay. So I would at least like a little bit of respect for what I'm doing. Or not. I'm still going to do it either way. This is a segment here from the Unconstitutional Coronavirus Crawl, in which Sergeant Rizzi got the worst walk of shame ever. I'm literally minding my own business, and he comes up. This is at the end after he had to do the walk of shame. He had to try and do something. But he came over to me to try and start a problem. I'm literally just standing there with a camera. I've literally said nothing to nobody. A little girl tried to come up to me and ask me questions, and I'm like, I can't talk right now. I'm working. But Rizzi came up to me and tried to start a problem, and let's see what happened. Let's see how that worked out for him. Is that a regulation Bass Pro Shops hat that uniformed officer is wearing?
They're taking them. That's why they're so bad. No, Sarge, can I help you?
What's that, sir?
Can I help you? I saw you driving with your cell phone in your hand while you're operating a motor vehicle back on Jackson. Rizzy 1104?
Yes, sir.
You know that's illegal, right? You didn't have your lights on. Void of emergency.
You know what, sir? It was, I was calling work in regards to this.
Okay, without your lights on, so void of emergency, you're not allowed to evade traffic laws. So you need to have your lights on and it to be an emergency in order to evade traffic laws. So next time, Rizzy, put those lights on if you want to have a mobile device in your hand
You better get
while you're
inside
driving.
then, sir, because you have to be inside.
No, that's a group. Those are groups. Those are groups. I'm by myself.
Place, sir.
I'm a part of the
Shelter?
media. I'm a part of the media.
Shelter in place, so let's see your pass then.
There is no such thing as media credentials.
Yes.
It's the Constitution that gives me the media. I'm a part of the media.
Let's see, sir.
So there is no media credentials.
No, your ID.
I'm not giving you my ID. My ID doesn't tell me I'm a media person.
No, let's see your ID then.
No, absolutely not.
Because now you're breaking the law again.
I'm not breaking any law. I'm a part of the media. I'm allowed to be out.
No, I was asking for your ID, sir.
And I'm telling you, no, you're not getting my ID.
All right, that's fine. You got to shelter.
You need RAS for my ID. Reason I'll take possession of a broken law. Tell me what that is. You broke the law, not me.
Got
Why do you want to get nuts with me? Why do you want to get nuts with DPN? I'm just standing here filming. Why do you want to?
Yeah, he took that one on the chin. For nothing, I wasn't bothering anybody. I don't know why you want to mess with me. Anyways, I'll leave the link in the description. You can go on over and read this article. ACLU Police Union call on Lightfoot to stop citywide checkpoints to remind people of coronavirus rules. This was published before the Jump Out boys jumped out the back of a van and just arrested everybody in sight. I'll leave that in the description. Thank you for watching. I wish you and yours a very happy and healthy rest of the week. Remember, wash your hands. Do not take flyers from police officers without any mask on, because that's counterintuitive. And have a great rest of the week.